Other than that, they do have a lot of ways on the side of Newbee to take him out, and I think this brew pick was actually perfect to round their lineup together because they were really missing team fight, is what it came down to on the side of Newbee. Now they actually have that with the brew pick.
Tiny here, just taking his little tree for a walk.
We love that.
Cutest guy in the world. Collection of polygons and happiness. But yeah, definitely. You know, they're talking about it on the panel. You got the lift up there on the Tide Hunter. You got all this minus armor that's coming out from the Newbee lineup. It feels like this Medusa gets off the ground. It's scary stuff. Yeah,
the thing for me is like, how does MIneski end the game? Right? If the game gets, even if the game gets to like a late game point, this Medusa is going to be terrifying. They have to isolate her entirely, and then on top of that, there's a Dazzle who's going to make her a lot stronger. We'll see if MIneski can pull it off though with this Sand King plus Void combo. If they can keep getting these Chronos on multiple heroes, if they can find this Dazzle in the back lines, get good Blink Dagger timing on Sand King, they could get some good fights coming out. But the later and later it goes, it looks harder and harder for them versus this Medusa Tiny Core. Use Ancients quite nicely.
Absolutely. And that might be one of those big contested points as well, because the Tide Hunter can come in and make that happen as well. Jabs moves over, tries to pressure for the rune, isn't going to be able to get it, and 2 apiece. So this early laning setup, we see Ice on his Tide Hunter, as it looks like he wants to come over and maybe try and contest and get that wave pull going, but we are able to force him back for the moment, but it's 2 heroes up top.
Yeah, so they're going to be leaving their Void kind of alone down bottom. It's going to be with that Bane, but you know, the Drunken Haze is going to be really abusive here. And they're actually doing a dual lane. Dazzle and Brew can really take advantage and pressure the Void as well as Bane.
Ninja Boogie. He's stuck in the trees, has to use a Tango, and it's going to take a couple more hits on his way out.
Yeah.
Now, people don't talk about it too much, but Dazzle is a kind of bully in lane.
Yeah, they're going to put so much pressure on this Void, actually. It's going to be a big problem for MIneski. The heal bombs plus the Drunken Haze, Mushi is going to be really sad last hitting under this.
Meanwhile, in that lane that you're talking about, you do have the Anchor Smash. Obviously great against 2 melee heroes, but it feels like it's going to be a little bit more Mugi trying to get the denies while simultaneously applying that harassment, as we've seen Tinies do.
Yeah, we've seen the Tide versus Tiny matchup several times. It's sure you mitigate the Tiny's damage, but Tiny does so much that he actually kind of brings the Tide Hunter down quite nicely with all that burst damage from his spells, and you get that bonus from your tree, of course.
Oh, and stun there from Kaka. Ice. Still flirting with danger as Jabs looking for the stun.
Kaka.
Able to find it. They're going to be able to get a couple more right clicks. And first blood drawn by Jabs. A little yell from the crowd. Meanwhile, Mugi also in some trouble. They try to bring that Ice. Outplay with the Fairy Fire, trying to take him down, and they are going to be able to get the kill.
They did not expect that Gush level up there to turn around and get that kill there. Oh, man. Great rotation coming in from Jabs, punishing that dual melee lane that you were mentioning.
And now, lo and behold, we have a true and real 1v1 in the mid lane. I think the first time this series. But it's like the most boring matchup in the world.
Oh, God. My goodness. It's a huge Mystic Snake there.
So we get this Haster now and stun there as well. But what do you think about that matchup? The Death Prophet versus the Medusa.
They both kind of trade farm. The problem is you have to watch yourself as Death Prophet. As long as you don't eat snakes, you're going to trade farm just fine. But the lane is now, you know, we know that the ramp was changed. This is quite a while back, but it's pretty hard to dodge those snakes from time to time. But yeah, they both just going to nuke the waves. So we didn't mention that Medusa has some talent changes, of course.
Right.
As they were talking about on the panel. The level 10 and level 15 talents have changed, as well as that level 20, 800 mana has been reduced.
I mean, 700, that's not really...
yeah, it's not really that
big of a
nothing
deal.
to write home about.
Mugi, it's going to back off again as they're trying to force him away. But yeah, does the Mystic Snake change really make that much of a difference in your opinion?
What was the exact numbers? Because I know they changed the talent, so I was trying to get a glance at the snake. Or the talent, sorry. Yeah, Mystic Snake cast range reduced, and then the talent, it was buffed, the level 15 one. Right. So you get the 20% Mystic Steel if you want to go for that one.
I mean, that's sort of another tough one. Like, that attack speed is so good for your farming speed, and pretty hard to justify it, but...
Yep. Kaka in some trouble here.
A bit of damage. They're going to be able to apply Caustic, chasing him down. This guy's already gone down once, but he'll be able to make his way out of there.
Yeah, Stick's very important in the top lane versus Tide Hunter for Anchor Smash. Get all those charges.
Let's see some damage here from Moon. The Spirit Siphon going through, and kind of an interesting little bit of, like, you know, the mana versus health management with the Mystic Shield, or the Mana Shield.
He doesn't want to have the Mana Shield on the whole time when the drain's coming out, because he wants to have mana to be able to Mystic Snake in the lane. It's really important for him to be able to push back that Death Prophet.
A lot of people just think Medusa, you walk around and, you know, eventually right-click, but in the laning phase, a lot of min-maxing that can go on.
Definitely. So both offlaners, they're doing kind of the similar thing. They're pressuring. However, we look at the Void's last hits, 10 on Mushi, while several more on the opposite side on the Tiny. SCCC looks to be pretty dead here.
Yeah.
Kills the regen.
Deny. A little bit of spite always feels good there, but Kaka
is making all the right moves right now.
I'm going to put a little bit more punish here onto him. He had that, I think, sprint enabled as well, so he took a little bit of extra damage. I'm not sure. And maybe Jabs can be able to find him again. Does have stick charges, the stun off cooldown. Nice stun from Kaka, though.
Jabs is, yeah, like we said, he's part of all 3 kills. He's actually has all 3 kills as well for his team. Very nice rotations.
A really good time of it. And you take a look at the CS across the board. Tiny Death Prophet about on par. The Tidehunter's gotten a lot, as well as the Beastmaster, or excuse me, Brewmaster. And in the meantime, top lane, Kaka almost going down. Jabs not able to fully punish. Oh, does he hit it blind? He's thinking about it. They drop down the board, spots him out. The chase, it's not going to be enough. Sees him, though. Trying to play around that vision.
Jabs is stalking. So as we were mentioning, you know, the bottom lane, there's a lot of pressure coming out. This Void is really suffering on the farm. We were saying the Dazzle puts a lot of pressure, and then Drunken Haze, of course, making it really hard to last hit. Getting this courier would be very difficult for Jabs. It would require him to hit it 3 times.
A little bit too far. 5.5 minutes in. Still just 3-0 as the Void tries to farm to his best content. And is this a game where he needs to get a ton of farm to be able to find kills? Like, it feels like they don't have much damage thrown to the Chrono.
They're just very reliant on their ultimates from MIneski. He ideally wants to be able to get that, like the panel was mentioning, the Diffusal Manta kind of build, or if he really wants to feel greedy, go that Battle Fury to try to match what Newbee has, but I think they want to be able to take this game a little bit earlier on the side of MIneski. They don't want to take it too late with their lineup. I would think some earlier aggression items would be the key.
Okay.
Rather than that Battle Fury.
Faith now, except an Invis, gonna head back towards the bottom.
The Drunken Haze.
It's so frustrating to play against.
Denies the catapult in his face too.
Taking away clarity, Ninja Boogie might be in some trouble here if they can find it. The slow to start. Faith gets the heal bomb as well. That's going to be a poison touch on the Ninja Boogie. Slowed down and maybe going to kill off. They do get a bash onto Faith there, and he's going to end up, oh, Trade of the Nightmare. He sleeps, maybe a kill. That's going to end up being the going the other way. And KP now in trouble. Brain Sap, the jump, the chase. Can he get a bash? It's not quite there, and KP walks away.
It's big there from MIneski though. Getting that kill, making sure that Void's not so limited. He's starting to catch up a bit in last hits too. And now he forces the Brewmaster out of lane.
Big one that definitely feels to be winning though is Moogie up there.
Yeah.
41 and 10 right now on that Tiny.
Even though they died, you know, they both died in that lane up when the rotation came from Jabs. He's still just farming just fine, as we kind of figured he would since he's a Tiny. Able to cleave off of the wave.
Jabs tried to go for a little bit of damage onto that courier, but he'll be now just drawing a creep wave towards him. Needs to head back towards the mid since Faith is here, and should be able to walk away after the fact. Well, okay, he's going to take a couple more hits from Faith first. Boogie moves in. The first time not playing as Witch Doctor, still making his presence felt though. The sleep is going to be there. The Burrow Strike to follow. The damage is out. Man is dead.
Nice rotations from the supports this game. Moogie top.
Another catch there. KP's down.
All right, ice, yeah.
Oh, excuse me, yeah.
I got you. Just very used to seeing KP play that Tide.
He plays that watermelon a lot.
They chain stunned him nicely there with the toss. The Tidehunter actually had wand charges, but was unable to use them since he's in the air.
On 8-minute mark. Going to be an illusion rune at the bottom. So these top CS right now, all looking pretty much like it's Newbee, with the exception of the DP. Is this something you're starting to get concerned about, this laning stage, feeling like it's going Newbee's way?
I think Newbee's lanes are just stronger than MIneski's at the end of the day here. I think MIneski should be pretty happy that they've got the 5 kills that they've got. They don't know that they're at a goal disadvantage either, right? So
yeah,
they're probably like, okay, this is all right. We've got a bunch of kills around the map. Japs is making nice moves. I'm curious to see what the item build is by Mamushi. I want to see what he's thinking about going for. Moon is going to be going for that Yules, of course, on the Death Prophet, as we see. The one thing that we didn't get to talk about too much is how impactful the Death Prophet silence could actually have in this game. Very good versus Brew, very good versus the Dazzle if they can find him. Wanting to set up a gank. They want to kill the Deuce. They want a bigger target, but they could transition into a tower push with the kill.
Oh, and there she is. They're looking in the jungle, spot him out right by the shrine. This is like the worst possible place to go after SC.
They can kill mid and take a tower. That's probably the big goal. They might not have to use... Oh, but the Deuce is actually coming in.
This is a big moment. Faith is there as well, though. They're locking forward. The Chrono's available, thinking about dropping it. They're waiting for the Grave as well. They are going to end up using it. Faith is still within range, but this is still going to be Deuce going down. He can't get the Grave off, and so MIneski find the kill on the Deuce who they wanted, and KP pops his ulti. Chaps goes up to the high ground. They're going to jump away from this. If they can catch Mushi, maybe it's going to be worth it, but they've already lost a lot. Exorcism going out. Mushi jumps away. Still walking, and they get the lift up. The rest of them chasing.
Can they close the gap with everybody? Here comes the Tiny. Here comes StarLadder. They should have enough chain stun to bring down Mushi.
Well played there to take down that Faceless Void.
And they defend their tier 1 tower versus the first Exorcism usage. But Deuce did die, so.
Still haven't seen a Ravage yet from the Tide Hunter. Looks like it's just those trades off that are happening. Arcane Rune for Death Prophet. Would have loved that a couple minutes ago.
Definitely. But the tower's quite healthy, actually. Pretty surprising.
Yeah. That's something that, you want to get that down as early as possible. The catapult wave is now here and still 70 seconds before Exorcism's back up. But I guess that's the strength of Dusa in a certain way, is you can just constantly spam out the wave.
Yep. Top lane, the first hit bash. The Gush follows through. Kaka should be able to run away.
Dilation is always frustrating, but Mugi was waiting off to the side and ready to jump. Things got scary.
But Mugi is going to have a very, very early Blink Dagger on this Tiny, so he can put a lot of pressure, and many of these heroes are burstable. Even Death Prophet at one point can get bursted if there's no HP, if he's not sitting at full HP on her.
And that's what you were mentioning earlier. This is there's no save mechanism really, except just try and kill them faster than they can kill us.
Yeah, I'm never really a huge fan of the Death Prophet without that save, as I was mentioning.
Oh my god, look at that stack. A lot of those Prowlers in there.
Yeah.
It's a bit scary.
A lot of HP regen. But that's the key for like a Dusa and Tiny lineup. You want to have those ancient stacks to accelerate your farm. Mugi's going to be the big playmaker with KP, while the Dusa just kind of farms. But mid tower again. Really trying to knock this one down.
They get the silence onto 2. They do not get the deny. And again, just that strength of the Tide Hunter who's moving in there, and it's hard to walk into a Ravage.
Yeah, that threat. They didn't have Brewmaster split either, and like we mentioned earlier, Newbee's real only team fight in this game is the Brewmaster. The rest of it's just kind of these short cooldown spells that get thrown out by the Tiny and by the StarLadder.
AP again going to pull the wave.
Yep. Both blink. The blink is going to be coming out on him on a very decent timing as well. Probably about that like 13.5-minute mark.
And at that point, you try and make some fights happen, I guess, with Newbee, or do you play more reactively at this point?
You can play for objectives.
Okay. Gush, Kaka gripped and gone.
And with the kill secure.
Classic mid lane player.
Yep. So now they want to be able to take out this top tower. They might actually be able to save Exorcism for this one because it was relatively low. So they might be able to push for a tier 2. Or even try to take a fight bottom if the Tide Hunter's in range. But they are a bit low on mana on Bane and Tide and Sanking. So they might actually just go for some trade here. Transition into a tier 2. Yules is coming out.
Well, in bottom lane, as you said, they're making that trade happen.
Yeah.
All this pressure is coming, farming out the rest of the jungle at the same time.
MIneski's doing a good job of warding. You see them, they were actually watching both Ancients. One just got dewarded, though. The one that has the big Ancient stack. Newbee was able to take that one out.
Another sleep here. Over by the shrine. A scary place to fight as Moon is forward, but they get the kill nonetheless. Just a lot of damage coming out from those guys. And
yeah,
Newbee keep on losing heroes here and there.
MIneski wants to take this Ancient stack.
Oh, this is big. And look at the damage coming out. They actually almost took out all of those Prowlers right at the start. And they're gone.
Well, this is going to be sad.
Oh, they thought about it. KP there. He pops the ulti. Mushi does have a chrono here if he wants to use it to try and make sure the rest of his team can get away. that physical damage onto the Death Prophet, really hard to deal with, and they are going to Chrono to try and secure the escape. But the problem is Moon is still dropping in spite of that, and running away yet again. They're making their way out. The silence a little bit off the mark, and there's the blink. KP gets the kill as they're trying to chase for more. The toss forward, Ninja Boogie caught for the moment, crushed and killed.
Well played, they say. MIneski got the whole stack, but whenever Brewmaster split is up, Newbee is trying to take the engagements. They did deny a lot of farm from SCCC, though.
So you were mentioning before, how does MIneski win this game? How do they sort of, try and put a finish on it? And it's starting to feel a little bit like Newbee is getting all their items that they need to take fights.
Yeah.
I guess likewise. Oh, Avatos, nice catch there. Almost get him. Heal bomb. Faith gets the kill.
This is the fear of the Tiny. MIneski, though, in position. They're looking to take a fight. They've got Exorcism. Ninja Boogie.
Eyes on him. Sleep onto one. They've got the grip. Faith ends up popping out that weave, but they might be able to get a second here. Ravage connects onto two. Kaka's also caught, but they do have a Faith in the area that can maybe help them out. They're going to be able to get out of there anyways. But they do get the tiny kill.
Yep, they didn't have to expend the Death Prophet ult either. Moon really didn't want to use it because he was still level 11. They want to use that on an objective, take a tower with it.
Can't help but feel that this kill score isn't quite indicative of the current state of the game.
No, definitely not. They are at least farming a bit more on their supports. We saw that, I believe, Jab's picking up the Blink Dagger already on the Sand King, and Kaka's quite a ways away on the StarLadder as opposing 4.
I mean, as a player, is that a thing, though, where you see the kill score and you feel like you're doing, like, better than it actually is? Or what do you think as a former player yourself?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you can feel like it's like, all right, you probably have a feeling like, okay, they might be out farming us, but you're definitely have the kill advantage is going to even it out a little bit. And they've taken a bunch of towers, so they're probably feeling still pretty okay about it. But they have, the big fear is that the Dusa, they've only killed her, what, like once? So now it's... Deuce is starting to get that farm caught back up, or twice, sorry. Get that farm caught back up.
On MIneski, gonna start to move together as SC farms around the map, taking another stack of MIneskis.
The biggest fear when you're playing versus these like super late game dominators when you're in these type of games is when you don't see these heroes for a long time. It's like, we have not seen Dusa for like 6 minutes, guys. This is scary. But now, with that fresh Arcane Rune on Moon, very convenient.
Nice.
This should be a very free Roche from MIneski.
See if Newbee have any inkling that this is happening.
I think it's too tough for them to fight into this. Even if Ravage is on cooldown. Chrono plus Exorcism, still quite strong at taking those engagements.
Is Solar Crest the normal build nowadays on Death Prophet?
When you're playing versus StarLadder and Dazzle, I think it's pretty strong, yeah. Okay. We saw, when it was OP, when it was really broken, we saw Envy was doing that kind of build on everybody. But yeah, versus this lineup, definitely need some armor early on.
It's Echo Saber next for the Tiny, as he is only about 300 gold away from finishing that one off. Of course, I mean, at that point, he can kill just about everybody, right? Maybe not the Tidehunter?
Yeah, for the most part, he should be able to burst like anybody. He's going to have some chain follow-up stuns, too, from his team.
All right.
And Kaka sprinting through that river very quickly.
Moving up top, Tidehunter alone, 4 heroes converging.
Very far up. He should get brought down quite easily here.
I mean, he has Ravage if he wants to pop it. Gonna try and TP, but there's gonna be the toss. And he did not live for long, my goodness.
Yeah. Minus armor is still pretty good versus Tide. You can crack and shell it off, but during the time of it being there, it did take a lot.
Solar Crest just about completed for DP, as they're gonna smoke up.
They've got the Tidehunter respawning soon. They've got Death Prophet ulti up in 14 thanks to that glorious Arcane Rune that they picked up outside the pit. This might catch Newbee off guard.
They also have buyback on Tide if they wanted to force the fight earlier. It seems like that'd be a really risky move, but fighting around this tier 1 tower maybe. Be there, walking forward, Burrow Strike, that's the reveal of it from Jabs. They find KP, they're gonna be able to get the Nightmare. This is still before Ravage is there, and they just got the Echo Saber turned over as well. They Chrono, able to catch onto 2 actually, a nice play. And they're also able to get the vision there, Epicenter. It's not gonna hit on anybody, but a great fight for MIneski.
Yeah, they saved. Newbee didn't want to fully engage on that once they saw the Exorcism getting committed. 4 heroes there. Now they do know, though, Chrono and Exorcism were committed, so this could be what we see. As soon as we KP respawns, we're going to see a smoke come out probably from Newbee and try to take some engagement. got to take advantage of those long cooldowns when you don't have as many on your team.
So you think even with Ravage up, it's still confident enough for Newbee to take the fight?
Yeah, with Brew, because if he can spot that Tide, you just throw him in the air.
Okay.
Over and over again. And they just need to make space, right? They don't want to probably bring the Deuce in it. They're just going to make some like 3-man smoke rotation. Let Deuce just keep farming, because as we see, SCCC, top of the net worth, been quietly farming in the sidelines. They have not seen him in a very long time, and almost a Hurricane Pike finished up. Level 16 already on this Deuce.
Yeah, and level's so important. We talked about that talent. Nerfed a little bit, but still incredibly powerful. Medusa, one of those late game carries. It's just a monster to deal with.
Yeah.
And he didn't take the newly improved talents, I don't believe.
No.
It's just the damage.
There's like a mix between it. I've heard some people, I've seen like Sumeo and a couple other players, for the most part, take the Mystic Snake Mana Steel. But the attack speed is also quite nice because you don't really get too many attack speed items. Sure, you get Agi, but not that straight boost in attack speed.
Smoke up, you talked about it. These abilities are on cooldown. Solar Crest done for the Death Prophet. Now they're going to spot some heroes across the road. Oh, they end up missing the stun. They managed to find the sleep as well. It's about as good as a death you can take, as you expended a lot of spells for it, but MIneski need to back up now.
Yeah, whoops.
Affirmative. They're still chasing. Scary moments.
Weave is starting to build up on the Tidehunter here.
They have that amplified damage as well. Corrosive Haze, excuse me, and they also have a Ravage available if they want to try and turn this one. A scary one indeed. They find a catch there. That's going to be Kaka dead. But they've already popped the Brew Split as well, and now the Faceless Void trying to get away with the rest of his team, but the Death Prophet left behind. They're going to pop the ulti as well from that Medusa. The runaway trying to turn not into a stone form. 17 stick charges. Not enough to keep her alive. But the epicenter turnaround. Is that really the fight that you want to take? It's underneath the sentry ward. She's coming back in. Possibly a chance, possibly a way. They're starting to bring down that Dusa. SCCC, they find the Chrono onto 3 right on the edge. But do they have enough damage to bring her down throughout the duration of this? I don't know. Faith gets off the grave. SC still walking away. They get the kill onto Dazzle and still chasing for this kill onto SC. This is going to be enough right there as they find the finish, and Dusa going to drop. A great fight for MIneski.
Yeah, the Exorcism came up right at the end there with the Chrono. Both cooldowns, both coming up right at the ideal moment for MIneski. Newbee just overcommitting and over-chasing a little bit too much and getting punished real heavily. And now the objective with that Death Prophet ultimate.
Now that's another tier 1 tower going to go down as Tiny was able to hide and now going to TP away. Has a Yasha done as well. It's almost starting to feel like this is Mugi is getting very farmed on this Tiny.
He's very farmed, yeah. Gotta be. What build did we see coming out on the Void? I'm pretty sure I saw Yasha, and he is gonna go for the Manta and probably into that Diffusal Blade, as we mentioned.
Yeah, draining away the mana from the Dusa, always very important.
Yeah. You can remove a bunch of the, you can remove that StarLadder Corrosive Haze as well. Useful item in general.
So they actually didn't get that bottom tier 1 tower. Are you starting to feel like this Medusa is going to come online too quickly? Do you feel like MIneski are still in a good spot?
They just need to play around their ultis. If they can keep getting Chronos like that, they are definitely in a good spot, but wanting to press the advantage a little bit more with the Death Prophet is ideal. But they can still play around those Roshas really heavily and abuse those Refresher Shards with their lineup. Yeah. It is a very good Refresher Shard team on all 3, Void, Death Prophet, and Tidehunter.
Void actually going for the 20 damage, I think I saw, but then
the 300 health afterwards. Yeah.
So needing to make sure that he gets a little something extra. Kaka, there's going to be the Manta, and the jump away. Fine and dandy. The Void.
MIneski trying to keep those lanes shoved out while they had their ultis on cooldown. But now 20 seconds until that one, they go for a smoke, and they get the catch. Chronosphere is available.
Looks like they wanted to wait for Mushi there.
Yeah.
And
SCCC is starting to ping the high ground near his Ancient, so it does seem like he knows something is up here. Maybe expecting MIneski to do this play with their ultis being coming back up.
I mean, Newbee have vision in this area. They feel like they're safe, but now they spot SCC completely left alone. They're not quite able to get there. Epicenter does connect. It's not quite enough. Stone Gaze, as you said, is the turn. Kaka gets a crush onto 2, and now they need to back out. KP gets his ulti off as well. They're turning onto Mugi, trying to kill him off. The Ravage connects onto all 5 heroes, but they were able to get that Brew Split off nonetheless. Another stun. Sand King's done, and that's going to be Bane gone also. Everybody falling from MIneski. Tidehunter just trying to waltz away from all of this. They got the kill on the Tiny, but they might lose almost everybody else as they chase down Ice, and kill him off.
That was SCCC getting that force into that. As soon as he gets Stone Gaze off, MIneski's in a heap of trouble. And we saw them. They tried to disengage, but everybody else from Newbee was already in position. They knew. It's like they knew that was coming. You saw that positioning.
Yeah.
SCCC pings when he was on the hill, and everybody from Newbee starts coming over, and they collapse too quickly for MIneski to respond.
And it almost became like one of those, you know, the fake out things, the trap cards, if you will. You get the ward up on the high ground there, and then you think, all right, we have time to set up on him, and then they go for the epicenter, but then the Stone Gaze comes off before they can disable.
Yep. That was just clutch map awareness.
So 15-12. It's 24 minutes in, 3,000 gold lead for Newbee. And still that tier 1 tower bottom is yet to be claimed.
Yeah. Still pretty close game on both sides. MIneski playing pretty well around their cooldowns. They still have Chronosphere available with the Death Prophet ultimate. They could maybe look to get aggressive again. As we saw from last game, they do like using their cooldowns and being a bit surprising, getting those plays that you wouldn't really expect.
So they pick up this Blink Dagger on Tide. If they see the Medusa alone, is it worth it just to solo Ravage her there?
She's alone?
Yeah.
If they can pick her, if they can kill her, definitely.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing. I'm sort of wondering, like, is it just a game of kill the Dusa at this point, pretty much?
It's going to get to that point, and the problem is now, too, she's level 20.
All right.
She's got the plus 700 mana talent. Pretty much doubles your survivability.
I don't remember what it was, like some ridiculous, like 2,000 effective HP previously or something like that?
It's still pretty close to that because of the way the shield works. If you go over it, it's, what, like 2.5 or 2.6 per damaged out, so it's plus 700. Yeah, it's still going to be about 2,000 effective HP added just from that talent.
So insane.
Yeah. So he's going to actually go for the Mjolnir build. He wants to be able to farm and deal more damage before he goes for that stat priority of the Scotty.
Make sure those lanes are pushed out constantly. But like you said, there's also the little wrinkle to this that you've got the Void with the Mantis style already done, going for the Diffusal Blade. It's going to be something to watch for if he can drain out that mana. And then, of course, you've also got to worry about the Tiny that's not necessarily an easy thing to deal with either. MIneski, again, going to go for this top lane. They have the blink on Tidehunter. If they wanted to, they could go for a jump here. They need to wait for the proper moment and bring in the Death Prophet.
Newbee is split up here. They don't have their Brewmaster here, so I don't think they want to fight by any means. And they're going to start TPing out. Is there going to be any catch from MIneski? There is not.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I think that scan by the Dire may have clipped one of the heroes. They all just bailed instantly as soon as it was thrown out.
Heads up awareness again from Newbee.
Yeah, Newbee's really reading the map quite well this game.
I mean, we were talking about MIneski making the right moves previously. They're doing it this time as Faith.
Yeah.
In the mid lane, Invis, he's going to spot out a couple heroes, and the Sentry. All right, they drop it. They're just going to grip him, and Kaka, they Ravage for this?
Ravage for him.
Okay, well, they're going to probably be able to find two here. Not bad at all, as the Burrow Strike's going to come through, showing off the strength of that Bane.
They could maybe transition into a Roche. They've got level 18 on the Death Prophet.
All right. MIneski bringing it back here as they're going to glyph to make sure that they don't take the tier 2 tower that quickly.
Ooh, they might actually just save the Exorcism here.
Oh, that's big.
That's very big, yeah.
I mean, can Newbee come back and come and contest this?
They don't look like they want to. Especially with those two heroes dead, they definitely can't.
Solar Crest, like we said, and style there. And MIneski taking down Roshan. It is still a lot of damage onto that tier 3 tower bottom because they are just being free to do whatever they want, but they need to be careful about the Sand King coming and breaking blinks as he jumps forward and just going to clip up replay. Usable Blade done for Void as well.
Yep. Pretty good timing for him after having a pretty hard game. He's 1-2-6, definitely struggling. But a nice little sneaky play there, using the Ravage just to get any type of advantage to get the Rush, and they get to hold their other cooldowns. The Chronosphere is online, the Death Prophet ultimate is ready. They are okay and ready to fight if it does come to them. While Newbee has to play around that Brewmaster split. But they're still, it's not like Newbee's really too upset with this or in a bad place. They definitely are feeling like Ardusa is in an enormous position. He's farming really heavily. Mugi as well is in a great spot at farming on that Tiny. And Dusa's going close to the 18,000 in net worth mark at 28 minutes. Assuming he's getting closer and closer to that Eye of Scotty, which is going to make him very difficult to bring down unless they can isolate him.
Well, and as you said, the Maelstrom build, it's going to give them a lot more of that farming potential as well as Mushi trying to chase, finding Kaka. There is a Dazzle nearby, but if you show your face, you might just be brought down there. They find him with the bash, still chasing. Ice 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 trying to run. They get another hit. Crypt Swarm. Still hard to chase this guy down as Ice 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 is running forward. Does not want to have to blow the Ravage there if they don't need to. And, well, Eul Scepter, and that should be about curtains.
Took them a while, though, to get the kill.
Sand King, he's coming. Wants to find it. Burrow Force, they're able to catch him. Really hard to get this kill, though. They're trying to slow him down, but SC just walking away. He's slowed down now and does manage to get off his ultimate. Can they chase this any further forward? They get the stun onto the Tidehunter. He did have Chronosphere there. They're taking it all away. KP brings himself in and trying to make this work, but the Ravage comes out as well. They've got him isolated. Fiend's Grip, 3 ultimates used, but the Grave is there. They're trying to isolate the rest of the heroes from them as SC is eventually going to fall, and MIneski surging forward. They find Faith and they kill him off too.
MIneski making these very clutch movements there. Getting the catch on that Dusa is absolutely massive, and they've still got Death Prophet ultimate to go for this high ground push. 68 seconds on Dusa.
Big stuff. I mean, they've got a tier 1 tower down there in the bottom lane, but if you're pushing high ground, it almost doesn't matter. They pop that Exorcism, clearing through the creep wave now and moving forward. How did Newbee respond to this? Still 50 seconds with no Dusa.
This could just be a Rax if he doesn't want to buy back. Bruce Split is available. They might go for the initiation into the buyback.
Scary stuff. They have a toss. They're buying back immediately. Now trying to run forward. They still could get the tier 3 tower with the last little bit of Ghosts. The chase is forward. Moon trying to run away. It's still a lot of damage done on these guys. A good silence as well. So Kaka can't chase forward with the stun. He finally gets it there onto the Tide, but all these ultimates have been used, and it's going to be wearing off soon with the Exorcism as well, as they've got the lifted up Death Prophet running forward. They find themselves another kill. Mushi is dead, and now they've also got that DP under control. Try to take down Kaka, but that's going to be the Aegis, and the rest of them just need to retreat. Round 2 does not last long.
No, definitely not. That is a buyback forced, so that is what MIneski was trying to do. They probably didn't want to lose so much off of it, but it was a great initiation from Newbee, and using that timing, they initiate and instantly buy back at the same time. Not wanting to lose a Rax versus this lineup. They know if they can just stall this game, keep stalling, this Dusa can absolutely solo carry.
Blows my mind how much the Sand King has been able to get in this game. Like, he had the blink and the force to catch up to that Dusa way back mid.
Yep. I mean, Jabs has been playing incredibly well since he's moved to this full role for MIneski. And now it's gone the other way. They're going toward the high ground here, Newbee.
Again, MIneski, they've been doing it with their team fight. They have to force the Death Prophet.
Yep.
Jump forward. There's a Burrow onto 3 jabs. Making it happen beautifully, but can they get any more after this? A 4th staff away. Ninja Boogie, they lift up again with the Euls, and it looks like they're going to be content with just buying back on 1 and calling it good there.
Yeah, Newbee knows that the Void's respawning. They know the Chrono is going to be available. They don't want to push their luck here. If they lose the Dusa, they could just lose the game. So back up, farm, wait for those buybacks to come back online. They're starting to get some big items too. We see KP has queued up the Radiance, so he's going to be able to do quite a lot of damage here, as well as mitigate the damage from that Void with that miss rate.
He's got himself level 19 also on that Brewmaster.
Yeah.
SC continuing to farm, but being oddly mortal in this game. A couple of kills, it's cost them everything. They've used everything to do it. But
it was isolated though, especially that last one. He was totally alone versus 3 heroes.
Yeah. And maybe just not anticipating or respecting the catch that MIneski had. Of isolation.
Newbee does not want to split up much in this. And a quick blink by Kaka, able to dodge Jabs' stun.
Well done, although he's still in some trouble as they get the Chrono solo onto him. That quieted things rather quickly. 21 to 15. It's still a 6,000 gold lead right now for Newbee. Gush armor, all those level 20s coming around.
Yeah. Newbee pretty much has to like kind of follow SCCC around a lot in this game. They can't let him get picked off, especially not in the next couple minutes since he has that buyback on cooldown. But they have to play the Brew kind of near that Dusa, which makes it a little bit problematic for the other lanes. MIneski now going for this push. Down bottom, they've got Exorcism and Ravage available.
I'd love to be able to shut down those shrines eventually as well. That's one of the big problems with the Dusa lineup is the mobility issues that you sometimes run into. Taking those away. But Newbee, on the same token, they're ahead, but they have been losing a couple of fights just because of the way that they've been taken.
Yeah. They need to have the brew split in order to take those engagements. If they don't, it's for the most part going to be MIneski's take in those fights.
Next up for Void. What do you think? Anything that really sticks out that you think he needs?
He's just got an ulti orb, so.
Right. Refresher. Oh.
He's got it fully finished up, huh? He's limited on mana, so he does bring out a Mango to try to help for that, to have that double Ravage. Still lacking a bit.
Oh, they're all there. But wait. Chrono is not there. They're not there with the Chrono. Oh my God, there's a Ravage. Second Ravage coming out in a second. Do they manage to hit it? He actually holds on to it for the moment. He didn't have enough mana left over, but they still find a great Chronosphere there. And Faith is going to try and keep the rest of them alive if they can manage to get the Grave off. Nobody is really focusing that guy. SC is able to walk away from them, but there's going to be the Manta style trading all that mana. Second Ravage comes out. They connect onto everybody. Are still trying to bring down this DP completely alone. A great stun coming through from Kaka, and Tiny starting to fall. They get the toss onto that Tide. He's gonna die, and now Moon also gonna fall as he does get ran down. Kaka gets the kill. It's still 3 dead from Newbee, and Mushi still left alive.
KP
beats him really hard in the face, and now trying to man up against Mushi. Might be able to find the kill. They get the air damage as well. They're trying to chase. They're gonna have another blink up in 1 second. Chase, Crutch, Manta dodge. Mushi, get out of there. He's trying to run. They've also got another chase here in a second. If they want to make this happen, time dilation out. They have stick charges. They're still chasing.
They want this kill so bad.
Mushi just trying to run desperately. They've got Radiance going ever so slow, but he's continuing to jump.
Oh, that Manta dodge was so clutch by Mushi. Oh my God, it was looking like a really good fight for MIneski, but this is where you start seeing the brew. Look at the damage done by KP because of that Radiance he has. Dishing out an incredible amount of damage when he lands as well, able to clean up the Death Prophet.
That was so close, just on a knife's edge there. Everybody bringing down low. And you gotta wonder, like, what would have happened there if he had enough mana? Do you second Ravage right away? Do you think that that was still okay? Or
it would have been a double 5-man Ravage.
Okay.
You definitely go for the double. He just didn't have the mana. That's what we were looking at. He only has 730 base mana. Even with the Mango, he was about 75 mana short.
Yeah.
So it is going to be an Iascati, so just some stats for the Void.
Yeah.
It's pretty tanky. Look at that, 2800 HP Void.
Mushi's doing it. And, I mean, solo kill potential on a lot of heroes now.
Yeah, definitely.
Even without the Chronosphere in some ways, if you can get the Manta right.
That was very clutch for Newbee there. They really needed to be able to take that fight without the Dusa. Dusa got extremely isolated there, unable to really dish out any damage with the right clicks because of the way that MIneski did play it. But KP came in clutch. That Brewmaster with Radiance, absolutely the right decision to go for that item here, just from that engagement alone.
Oh, and Dusa almost has the Scotty. She only gets scarier and scarier, and has the level 25 as well.
Yep. With a Mjolnir. So the modifiers
and
will start going pretty
well.
back. Yep. A lot tankier now. Newbee, they've got split available, and it is now the third Roche has respawned. This is the most crucial thing in this game. Look at the wards. Look at this. They put both wards just to watch anything. That's how important this Roche is. The triple Ravage, the threat of triple Ravage or double Chrono is too much. If Newbee can get it, well, and that'll be massive.
And again, game 3, this one separates you from having to battle through that lower bracket and potentially get knocked out of this tournament. And it's only a 5,000 gold lead into the favor of Newbee. With all these big team fights, Ultimate, it's a scary moment in the game.
Ice is still about 25 mana short of having the double Ravage, but he's got a good amount of mana regen, so he should be able to once he refreshes. Right,
is it worth it to sell the phase and just get arcanes so you can double arcanes, or you don't think so?
He looks like he's just going to build into Octarine to have more mana.
Okay.
If he gets that level to level 22, it might push him into there, because I think he needs exactly, what, 1,025 mana? If my math's not horrible.
Quick math.
Yeah, my math's not horrible.
Nice.
For once. His minus is up. Oh, thank God.
There it is.
So he's 1,009. So his mana regen is pretty quick. He'll have time during the Ravage to regen it, so now he does have enough to get that double Ravage out.
Speaking of double Ravage, it's time to party, moving into the pit. It's falling, they get the Aegis, but they maybe are going to be able to find a follow-up here. Do they decide to go in spite of that Aegis? It looks like the answer is no. Too scary.
Now there's a Aegis and a Cheese if they want to give to that Dusa.
Oh,
that's going to make a hell of a lot of a difference to bring him down. And Brew with Refresher Shard, double Primal.
But I guess at the same time, you kind of just need to get the Manta style and draining all that mana, which, like, they have more than enough to disable for it, don't they? if they can kill everybody else.
But with Aegis Cheese, this is way too much for MIneski to fight into. 30 in a very comfortable position now after that. MIneski very afraid. You see only Mushi showing himself on the map. Everybody else isolated in the base.
I guess he's going to be coming back very shortly. Does have that TP brought out to him. That inventory spot, backpack, and they are getting ready to push down this bottom lane. Newbee hoping to make something happen here as they weave up as 5. Spirit Siphon working. KP pops the ultimate. They lift up there as well with the Yule Scepter trying to walk away, and well, the glyph is used as well, and now they've got the secondary lift up. Kaka
Ravage
able to get the stun. Ravage onto 3, still chasing. It's a lot of mana gone from SC. They're going to back out. They want to try and save that Chronosphere if they can. They don't have mana right now from the Tidehunter. They're not going to be able to get the second one to counterplay. A good Yule Scepter to keep him alive for the moment. Gain the regen from that as well, but it's not enough. They take him down. Does have buyback. They're going to use it. Now chasing for more. Mushi trying to walk away from them, but SC is just doing so much damage throughout this. They're out of mana, and on the other side, they're also going to lose jabs. MIneski, they're down the 2 supports. They don't have the disable they need.
KP still has ulti available again now because of that refresher shard.
Oh, God.
He's still with the Aegis. I believe they still have the cheese as well, ready to expend it.
Exorcism pop. The second Ravage comes out. They're turning now onto this Medusa. All they want to do is cave now. They get the split off. The turn comes. They're starting to burn through MIneski as they end up buying back on that Void, trying to take down yet another. The Death Prophet falls. Newbee happy as clams as they start to march forward for the tier 4s and Tidehunter's life. Double kill. Mushi the only one left, and they might just turn now onto the tier 4 towers. Stick a fork in it, they're done.
That's it, yeah. They kill him during the exorcism so quickly. SCCC buys up Desolator. They're even trying to combo and take down Mushi.
They're building it down. Tries to get the time walk off, but honestly, at this point, it's buildings that matter most. Desodusa and GG is called as Newbee are gonna be in it. They popped the Chronosphere, but this one's already over.
This looked like it could have gone either way at one point, but Dusa did get too strong, and then being able to just take that Roche, they snuck it so quickly. That's the power that StarLadder gives you. The corrosive haze lets you kill that Roche so quickly. If MIneski's not ready to fight instantly, Newbee's able to take it, and man, KP came in so clutch with that Radiance build. That fight actually was like, I was like, oh my God, Deuce is dead for 110. They could just lose the game straight up here, but KP playing so well in this Brewmaster this game.
And it's exactly what you said. It came down to that Aegis, that fight, and MIneski just not being in position to come and contest it. They had double Ravage, they had Chronosphere, they had everything, and they just weren't there.
Just died way too quickly versus that minus armor.
Oh man, a tough break, I am sure, but MIneski showing that they definitely are a contender in this one, and I'm expecting to see them in the playoffs, honestly, based upon the play today.
I don't think that they should be too unhappy about that loss. That was like small little things coming in clutch for Newbee. MIneski could have definitely had a chance to take that one. Just some small little things coming in, small little fixes, but Newbee definitely played just that little edge a little bit better, just with KP's Brewmaster build. It's very clutch.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to send it back to the panel. Quick commercial break through, but well, day number 2, it's all in the books. See you guys in a few.
Thank you so much, Lyrical and Fog. Then for Newbee, that's it. They make it through to the playoffs on Sunday and knock MIneski down to the lower bracket here of Group B. Time to break that game down here with ODPixel as well as Pyrian Flax. Gentlemen, this game, it looked like it was even for a very, very long time. And then all of a sudden, there's a Medusa, and it's like, well, no, I'm Medusa.
Yeah.
Game's over. Here, man.
That's the threat. If you have, and I thought MIneski did really well. I thought they did really well. They had a good start there. The house lights have come up in celebration. I think they did really well. They did really, really well.
Yeah.
But there was a period in the middle there, like Fog said in the cast, where Medusa was like mysteriously absent. And they just couldn't find her.
No.
And she was just off doing her business, farming up, and she got to a point where gradually with every fight, she became slightly harder to kill. That third Roche was critical.
Yeah.
And as Fog pointed out, Tide didn't have enough mana to comfortably refresh a Ravage, and I feel like he was like, guys, just let me go get level 22 real quick. By the time he came back, Roche was done.
Now, where were we?